It's 5th grade, Tuesday early in the year. I'm sitting inside a church, making what would end up being one of the biggest decisions of my life. I was trying to decide what Boy Scout troop I should go to. I had two options. One was this troop with people I knew, a few of them were friends. They were fun looking, and I'd gone on a camp out with them, so I knew what they were like. Option B was a troop that had people my parents knew. They seemed friendly, they had canoe trips. That was about all I knew about them. I normally would have said that option A was much more attractive. Despite that, however, I ended up choosing option B, Troop 167. I do not regret that decision. One of the reasons I don't regret that decision was that it was where I met Franz Silberger, who was the scoutmaster of the troop. He's also become my friend and mentor. He's, in many ways, made me into what I am today. He's been part of it anyways. Fellow Toastmasters, today I will be speaking with you about my old scoutmaster, Franz Silberger, and my experiences in being one of his boys. One of the first things I found out is that he always sought the best for his boys. Specifically, he wanted them to be the best people they could be. Yes, he wanted them to know how to tie knots. He wanted them to know how to build campfires. He wanted them to know how to do first aid. But more than any of that, he wanted them to be good people. Part of being a Boy Scout is following the Scout Oath and Law, which is a series of character traits that a Boy Scout should be. But it's also a series of character traits that a person normally should be. He tried to ingrain those traits into his scouts. One of the ways he did that was through the Scoutmaster's Minute. At the end of each meeting, he would request that someone would bring him an item. He would then, regardless of what it was, he would then try to connect it to scouting. Bring him a dollar bill, and he might talk about how one should be thrifty. Bring him an orange soda, and he might talk about how one of his scouts showed bravery one day. Bring him a hat, and he might talk about either how one should be prepared, or the story of how there was a scout who brought his very special hat as well as some special gear, and learned the hard way, a la capsizing, that if it's too valuable to lose at a campout, you probably should leave it at home. Sometimes he taught by letting them learn the hard way. One memorable story that he's told was of a scout who wanted to become an Eagle Scout. He finished all of the major requirements, got all of his service hours, got all of his campouts, just needed to write up the Eagle project and then finish the project, which required paperwork. Franz would often poke and prod him, you should start the paperwork now. You need to get the paperwork done. Your deadline for being a scout is coming up. You should get the paperwork done. He never did end up getting the paperwork done. And because of that, he didn't end up becoming Eagle Scout. Before that, his parents pleaded with Franz to let his son become an Eagle Scout. To do whatever he could to help him reach that goal. Franz's response was along the lines of the following. I could push, pull, drag him all I want, but he has to be the one to cross the finish line. It was a lesson in initiative, one that the boy would hopefully apply for the rest of his life. Franz was also a good friend to all. He was very friendly, especially to scouts, and would always have a smile on his face. Part of his leadership is that he would try to befriend the scouts. He would often use personal anecdotes that scouts could either relate to or imagine to try and make a point. These were often found in the Scoutmaster's Minutes, but also were just sometimes used to teach something. Such as, if you make a fire and rest your feet by a fire, don't put your shoes close to it. Your soles will get burned off. Take a wild guess of how he learned that one. Finally, he was often very empathetic. Despite some of the harsh things he said, he truly did care about his scouts. He wanted them to have fun, and if they were ever in trouble, he would try to help. Finally, he led by example. Whenever he made a lesson or point, he tried to follow that. And he even stated that if he didn't follow it for some reason, that someone should call him out on it. Part of why he was so friendly was because he was hoping that others would be friendly. He was helpful in hopes that those under him would be helpful. He took initiative in hope that the boys at least had some idea of what initiative looked like. In short, he tried to show what a scout was. I became an Eagle Scout more than a year ago. And I am glad for it, and I am better for it. But part of how I became an Eagle Scout is because of who I am. And part of why I am the way I am is because of the influence Franz has had in my life. This Scoutmaster, dear friend, and mentor has been one of the greatest figures in my life, Franz Silberberg. Thank you.
Well, good evening again, fellow Toastmasters. We had one speaker this evening, and it was Al Evans giving his speech on mentoring. And Al, I have to say, I think you have made wonderful progress during the time that I have observed you in Toastmasters in filling out the criteria comments. Most of my comments are positive because I think that you are very much at ease here behind the lectern when you are speaking to us. Now maybe it's because we have all become your friends and you're familiar with us, but I think you are just raising your general level of poise across the board. You started out very strong with your speech. You had a good introduction explaining to us how you came upon Franz, who was a very strong mentor to you. And then you carried that out through the progress through the scouting program and gave us illustrations of why he was so important to you as a mentor. You looked at everybody in the audience. I noticed that in particular, that you made good, strong eye contact on both sides of the room. And some of your gestures I thought were very good. You made the tying a knot gesture, which I thought really added to your gesturing and illustrating and pointing your speech. There were a couple of things that I made note of that I think you can continue to work on to improve your speaking skills. Your volume, you have the same problem I do. You don't vary the volume in your speaking tone very much. And that's one that after all these years in Toastmasters, I very seldom go down and low like this, and then bring it back up forcefully like that. So that's something for you to work on. We'll be fellow workers in that area. There were some times when I caught just a little bit of hesitance in the flow of your speaking. But again, you have shown so much improvement in the flow of your words over the time that you've been in Toastmasters. Just keep working on that. You used humor, you were relaxed, your topic related well to the audience. Everybody in here knows about Scouts and the Eagle Scout program. It was an excellent presentation. I enjoyed it very much. Thank you for sharing that experience with us.